Hello friends, and welcome to Echoes of the Shore. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so very much. In today's video, we have a bunch of different things that we need to get started on. With, of course, the very first bit of business for today is a bunch of fishing, because I have been quite lacking on the fish caught for this week, as well as a few other bits and bobs, of course. But we're gonna have to get started on that stuff after the fishing and everything. What are these bits and bobs, you might be asking? Well, it has been a little while since I got my last Echo, so I am hoping to get started on the journey for our second one here pretty soon. However, that is gonna require an extreme amount of resources. Mostly just stone to start with, but I've got to get a whole bunch of other stuff in between all that, of course. And also, I completely forgot, we've got our little elytra now. We got our little wings, so maybe we can set up some sort of a sugarcane farm or some sort of bit of redstone so that we can make our rockets and stuff. I really want to fly, so that's what we've got planned for today. We're gonna do a whole bunch of fishing. We're going to hopefully get started on the construction of the stuff that we're gonna need for the second Echo, as well as a few little redstone machines. You know, a part of me feels like it would be a really good idea to make the redstone machines before I do the fishing, so that they're kind of running in the background. But I'll be honest, I don't really care. I really want to go fishing now. So we're just gonna jump straight into the fishing part. So, 2 seconds. Welcome back from the tiny little fishing break. This has been an amazing 3 days so far of just fishing, and by the end of our last episode, we were at a whopping 22,000 fish caught. So after an entire 3 days of just fishing, we are now at a total of 26,508 fish caught. I think that's pretty good for it being already quite a busy week for me. So I didn't have nearly as much time to do my fishing and stuff, but I did do my best. That's not to say that there's not gonna be more fishing this week. That's just all I've got time for the beginning. And with all of the fishing stuff out of the way temporarily, I think we're good to move on to the redstone stuff that we need to do for today, because I really need some rockets. I really need some rockets, especially for the projects that we've got planned for today. Doing some flying and stuff would definitely be helpful. So I really think the only farm that I'm going to be needing to set up for all of this is really just the sugarcane one, right? And those are historically pretty easy to make, right? So I'm gonna try to make one of them just off the top of my head, and hopefully it goes well. So for this specific little sugarcane farm that I want to try to build, I know that I'm going to be needing a little bit of mud to have the hoppers and stuff over the top of, or the mud on top of the hoppers, rather. So we're gonna need some dirt, we're gonna need a little bit of mud, and then the regular redstone components, of course, which I am pretty sure I do have the resources for these upstairs. I sure do. There we go. We're a bit lacking on the iron department, so we're gonna do a little bit of mining for that very quickly, just to pick up a couple more, to grab some hoppers and stuff. I don't remember even the correct Y level for mining to get the most amount of iron and stuff, but I think it's 25. That's the one I've been using for a while, so that's the one I'm gonna stick with. Y25 is probably 15, isn't it? Isn't it the higher you go upwards, the more common the iron is? Is that how that works? Oh, there we go. I guess we're in the right spot. Nice. Oh, I should have brought my fortune pickaxe with me. I still can. I can go grab it once I've collected this all with my silk touch. Not a problem. Not a problem. I just realized this actually is what I have to do later in the episode as well for my big mega project that I've got planned. Or at least it's not gonna be done in today's video. It's gonna be started in today's video, rather. I also am realizing I kind of would like to use a beacon for the first time ever. Maybe just to do some sort of like excavation or something and get like a bunch of stone. I've never used beacons before. I mean, I've activated one, but I've never utilized them. So maybe we could do that as well. Already up to 9 pieces. That is lovely. I mean, we got iron over there. I just need to really not get lost. Here, we'll take all of this and we'll go back. Oh, hello. And just a bunch of diamonds down here. Nice. Just peacefully mining coal. Just stumble into diamonds. I'll just be taking these. Also, LANOSTRY did such a great job on the ore textures as well. There's more diamonds over here. What the heck is going on? Why are they just giving me all the things I need? That is so cool. Thank you, game. All right. I'm gonna say A stack and 13 is good. I just needed a few hoppers. I don't know why I'm still down here. It's good to know that we have it though, just in case I need to come back. And with that, we are good to go home. Oh, we've got so many good things. Look at all this. The coal for me is especially useful because I currently have a data pack that makes it to where you can get gunpowder from just throwing the coal into a furnace. So if you use coal to cook coal, you get gunpowder. And this makes it to where I don't have to kill any of the creepers to actually be able to make rockets. Now this is incredibly inefficient and takes a lot longer than making an actual creeper farm, but I don't like hurting the creepers. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. Next up on our list is a little bit of nether quartz, which I do think I have some of. Yeah, there we go. I've got plenty from when I did my netherite mining, which means the only thing left on our list for the redstone stuff is to break down all of this ore and stuff into the raw form, which we can do with our lovely little iron pickaxe here named Parko, because I don't have a netherite version for fortune pickaxe quite yet. I've just got the silk touch one, which is fine. Oh, that reminds me. I really wanted an ender chest. I don't have one of those yet either. I do got some shulker boxes, which I don't have on me. Nice. That's fine. Inventory doesn't look bad anyway, so all right, we're gonna start breaking all this stuff up, and we're gonna see what we can get from 1 stack and 14, or sorry, 25. And there we go. 3 stacks and 30. That's pretty good. I'll take it. Now we just need to cook up all of the resources and then figure out where and how we're going to make this little sugarcane farm. Oh, I wonder if it would also be beneficial if I made like a maybe some form of like a moss farm or a bamboo farm for like making an auto smelter of the sorts or something like that. I've never actually made these bone meal things or like bamboo stuff before, so I don't know how these things work, but I do really want to try and figure out how. I've been doing lots of coding and stuff recently. Oh, I forgot to mention I am making a little game. Just a cute little top-down pixely game, but it's still pretty fun. I've been doing a lot of that, so I feel like it'd be pretty cool to try and understand a little bit more redstone. I actually am feeling quite in a fishy mood again, so I have an idea. So I'm gonna finish cooking up all these resources and stuff, and then we are going to jump straight into a little time lapse of me building the redstone little pieces underground, which is, I'm pretty sure that's where I want them to be. We'll see how that goes through the time lapse. But we're gonna build some stuff. We're gonna do a little sugarcane farm. Maybe we'll try out one of the other ones. Maybe a little automatic bamboo collector. It should be the same as the sugarcane one, right? Maybe just put it in a little auto crafter so we can get blocks that we could use for fuel, maybe? I don't know. But we're gonna do that, and then we're going to also do a time lapse of gathering up the crazy amounts of stone that we're gonna need. So this is gonna be a really big time lapse, because at the very end of it all, we are still going to do a bunch of fishing. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into doing a bunch of building and everything. And welcome back from the little fishing stuff. Except, unfortunately, I said fishing, but I meant to say building. I didn't actually get any fishing done. What a terrible time to live. That's okay. So it has been a very productive couple days already. So we've got this whole section here completely mined out for just a very small little fraction of the stone that we're going to be needing for our project today, which unfortunately we don't even have very much time for. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna lay out like a basic frame, and I'll probably call it good there. But this is how much stone we've got. We've got 2 shulker boxes here completely filled, and then this one that just barely started getting filled. So we've got what, 4.5 stacks here. Not much stone, but that is totally fine. I'm realizing stone is not difficult to really get. This didn't take too long at all for me to mine out in my free time. I just wish I was able to actually do some fishing in the past couple days, but that is, unfortunately, I didn't have the time for it. What a weird world to live in right now, where I did not fish so that I could build redstone stuff, and do a bunch of resource gathering. That's unfortunate, but it's okay. I still had a great time doing like redstone and things. So first thing with this redstone bit, it is very simple. It's all easy stuff that I'm sure a lot of people know already. But I don't know much about redstone, and I really didn't want to have to Google anything. So this was all me just doing my best to try and understand how this stuff actually works. You'll probably see it in the time lapse, but I did struggle quite badly for the first bit to try and understand how the positioning and stuff of the observers to pistons worked. And I think I got it in the end. I think this works properly. And since we've got the mud and stuff underneath with all of the hopper chains, it should be, for the most part, a lossless sugarcane farm, which I don't know if that even means much. Honestly, this thing is so inefficient that it doesn't matter if I lose any anyway. So we've got 3 tiles of this little sugarcane farm to be made. So we've got the mud with the sugarcane on top, and then whenever it grows past this one observer here, the pistons fire and it breaks it all, and then it gets picked up from the bottom here by a hopper chain that goes from here all the way over to our tiny little storage system here. And it's fairly inefficient, but I don't really care. I mean, I don't need much sugarcane anyway, and this thing I feel like is really gonna start shining whenever I am doing my fishing and stuff. So what is it? This thing's gonna be running like 30-40 hours a week, honestly. I do feel like that this was quite easy for me to build. However, there is a bamboo farm that I'm actually quite interested in. I don't remember where I saw it or how I saw it, but I know that it works through a flying machine or something like that. And I'm wondering, could I make one of those in like a one chunk border kind of thing? Like just one single chunk have a little bamboo growing platform, right? Then over time, as it grows, like it'll have an observer at the tippity top where bamboo like reaches its max height, and then that'll send a flying machine at the bottom across to break all of the bamboo and stuff. I don't know how that works. I don't know how to make flying machines, or if that even is what they are. But I saw one of those a couple of years ago, and I feel very intrigued by it. I want to try something, but I don't even know where to start. I feel like I would have to Google how to make a flying machine, right? Because I know those are very specific, right? So that I don't think I could just make one of those without any prior knowledge on them. So maybe I'll Google flying machine, and then I'll try to figure out how to actually do the little bamboo thing. However, that is also going to be a next video. I just am talking. But we've also got some rain here, so we're gonna jump straight into a tiny little fishing break. I really need this anyway. There's too much redstone, too many things going on. I just need to fish for a second. 2 seconds. And with the rain gone, I think we are good to go and get started on trying to put together our very basic frame for what it is we want to do for our mega base, which, yes, I think I am gonna say it now, this does feel quite mega, now that I'm really thinking about it. So I also don't know if I've mentioned even what it is I'm gonna be doing. So for my second echo, I think the requirements would be to make one humongous mountain, but I also want it to feel like it's part of the island, right? So I think over time, I'm going to decorate it and make it feel a bit more like it's actually part of the island. But for now, since it's going to be so big, I think the first thing that I need to do is try and just rough out the shape and then fill it all in with stone. And then once I think that's fully complete, then we'll go through with our grass and our texturing and the sandy bits and the trees, and it's gonna be really cool. But first things first is we need to actually get the shape started. So we're gonna need to start popping down some stone and start roughing out the shapes of this big old mountain that we're gonna try and build. And to make life just a little bit easier, I think we're going to make a few of the flight duration 3 rockets just to help me out in the building process in case I fall off and stuff. So we have now a total of 54 flight duration 3 rockets. And I cannot be happier. We're finally gonna be able to fly everywhere. Also, brown sheep. Wow, I don't see brown sheep very often. Anyway, we have a lot of work to do, so we're just gonna do a little tiny twirl. And there it is. There is our lovely little mountain outline. It looks a little underwhelming right now, but that is really because it is just a big ol' outline of what it is I'm trying to do here. So all I did was I went through on all 4 of the directions here, and I made a big old line going up to where I would like the peak to be. So we did also, after that, we did a bit of a perimeter. So we've got the full circle around the mountain for about how big I want it to be. So this also is going to be pieces of like beach and stuff all connecting up to this little mountain. So not all of this will be mountain. It'll just be mostly the middle bits and stuff. Also, I did make sure to save a time lapse of it just in case anybody wanted to see it. So here it is in the little time lapse form. It's not very interesting. That's why I just did the little spin transition, but it's okay. I hope you like it. There are still a whole lot more time lapses to come with this mountain. This is not going to be a 1 or 2 episode project. I will say that right now. This is going to be... I definitely would consider this a mega base with just how much I have to do, which is why it also is going to be one of the echoes that I need to obtain. Because I don't know if I've mentioned it so far, but this is going to be like an entire mountainscape. Like I'm wanting to have like bits of snow and stuff on the very tippity top over there. Just a little bit of snow, not too much. Just a little bit of that white on the top, just to show that it's got like some scale to it. And then along the outer edges here, there's going to be a singular path, which is actually which is what I started right here. This is going to be a little hiking path that you can take that'll wrap all the way around the mountain. And it'll kind of like spiral upwards until you've reached the peak. And I thought that would be a very cool thing to do. Just whenever you're just walking around, you've got a little mountain path to walk through. So after we place in all of the stone, our next objective would be to go back through with like coarse dirt and grass, and we're gonna try to liven up the area by doing like little cliff edges and like little pieces of grass overhangs and little places to sit. We're gonna decorate the entire path upwards. And then of course my absolute favorite part of terraforming, which is the shoreline that's gonna wrap all the way around the entire thing front to back. It is all going to be fully decorated, or at least in terms of like like, you know, natural stuff. We're gonna have beach flowers, we're gonna have the little tiny palm trees all over the place, big palm trees all over the place. Maybe we could add a couple of ships, because you know I really love building boats and everything. So we're going to have lots of that stuff all around it. And the entire perimeter is going to hopefully, by the end of it all, look a little bit like this with its like sand and stuff. Except, of course, more palm trees and more like grass and stuff like this. But wrapped all the way around the entire mountain, which is, I think, the plan for the foreseeable future. And then once we're done with the mountain, we'll go through and we'll add some finishing touches to the island, and we'll put some more bigger trees, maybe a couple of different of the variations of the spruce trees that we've got here, maybe some that are actually made of spruce wood instead of netherrack, because that was a bit of an oopsie on my part. That was way too difficult to obtain for just a few trees. Oh, that's right, I forgot. I've still got a bunch of other stuff I need to do here as well. I know that since I do have this one echo here, I need to start making a place where I can put them, and I keep on putting it off because I've been really distracted by all the other stuff we have planned. So it's hard for me to try to stick to one thing, but I definitely think I will start working on a lovely little podium area while I'm doing the stone filling bits. Like I'll do like for a video, I could do a couple of time lapses of me just putting in pieces of stone here. Maybe between me doing all of that, I can try and plan out a nice little spot for our echoes. I think that sounds fantastic. And also, I'm so excited for Hightail. I'm so excited. The game doesn't have fishing quite yet, but there are a bunch of fish in the game, so I guess I've got some form of an objective coming into it. So hopefully on the day of release, I will be tinkering away on some Hightail shenanigans, trying to figure out how the fish and everything work. It will be vanilla though. If I play, I like mods, but only like quality of life mods, like the one like the simply no shading mod that I have. That's about it, really. Otherwise, I'm a vanilla gamer for sure. Ooh, unless they've got some good fishing mods, in which case I'll probably try those out if I'm really bored. Either way, I'm very excited, and I don't have an avatar, unfortunately, for Hightail, so I probably am gonna have to use a regular default skin or whatever those are. I need to get the Cursebreaker edition as well. That's gonna be so cool. Gonna be playing Hightail within a week. That is crazy to think about. Anyway, enough hightail talk. I'm just gonna keep on going if I don't stop. I actually really want to try doing one or two more tiles of the sugarcane, and then maybe in a future episode I can make like a tree farm or something, so that I can more automate the process of burning coal to get gunpowder, which is a lot more difficult than making a creeper farm and a whole lot more inefficient. But I genuinely, I can't hurt the creepers. I know this is a weird thing, but I hope that's okay. Anywho, I want to make a few more of these tileable sugarcane sets here, just to really drill home that I'm gonna have enough paper for these firework rockets. Now, I don't know if it's paper that's really the issue. I know it's gonna be gunpowder, but maybe I can also install a bone meal thing that turns all the extra sugarcane into bone meal. I'm not really sure. Oh, maybe we can do moss farm as well. I'll figure it out. But in the meantime, I'm going to get started. So 2 seconds. Significantly more than 2 seconds later, I have made an abomination. I tried really hard to make a functioning kelp farm, but I don't think I quite grasp how to do that properly. So the first thing I did was I replicated this, but then realized that the kelp and stuff would just flow upwards, right? So I would need an extra space on the front for where the pistons would push the kelp. So I made it to where there's a bunch of signs here that create this air gap, and then all of the kelp drops into this little pocket down here, and that works a little bit. I've run into an issue where the kelp that gets broken from the pistons firing just floats up to the top where this sign is here, and then it just sits there. And I don't really know how to fix that, except for maybe by putting like a hopper minecart on top of something somewhere. But I don't have much verticality here, so I don't know how to do that either. So I've kind of hit a standstill with the kelp farms here, and I don't know quite how to fix this properly. So I think this is just gonna be as good as it is, honestly. I should not have made this, but I still had a great time building it. I just wish it functioned properly. Oh, actually, let me check. Does it even work? Am I getting anything down here? I sure am. Look at that. 17 kelp. Hey, that's pretty good. Oh, am I kidding? Of course, that's terrible. Did I get more sugarcane? Yeah, okay, I got more sugarcane though. Nice. We got, oh nice, it's about a stack already for all of them. That's pretty cool. I could maybe make a few more of these, but I'll be honest, I really want to go back to fishing now. It has been a lot of redstone and a lot of building with the stone and everything, so I think I'm going to go straight back into the mines and start gathering up even more stone for the mountain in the next episode, because I actually used every single piece of stone I had for this. I don't have any more. Oh wait, I got 1 stack. That's right. Cool. Well, I guess we'll place that later. Let's jump straight back into mining a bunch of stone, and then afterwards I'm gonna go back to fishing. So 2 seconds again. This is a very grindy episode, isn't it? This is pretty cool. And we are back just as soon as it starts raining. That is convenient. Oh, I just missed a few of these. Dang it. Wow, we have mined quite a bit of stone today. We did only get about 1 shulker box of the actual stone. The rest of it was the granite and the diorite and stuff. I don't know exactly if I'll be needing to use any of that stuff, but I do suppose it's good to have just in case. So we've got plenty of other stuff to work with as well, just in case we need to do some texturing of some sort. However, it is currently raining outside, which means it's time to go fish. Let's go! It's raining! We got a nice thunderstorm. Oh my gosh! I forgot that I made all this. Whoops, I've been underground for too long. Alright, well, I think I have just about, unfortunately, run out of time for today's video. So, I thank you all so very much for watching this episode of Echoes of the Shore. I appreciate every single one of you, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye! Bye-bye!